good day to stay on. Now's your chance.
Hey, what's going down, guys? Jack Reeve, Talk Norwich City here. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. Back again for a match preview video. Another midweek game this week, but this time, unlike last week's midweek game against Stevenage in the Cup, this is far more important. It's Preston North End at Carrow Road on Wednesday. Before I get into anything else, I do just want to say a massive thank you to Credo Asset Finance, who are continuing to sponsor the videos this season. They are now our longest term sponsor here on Talk Norwich City, and we're giving something back this year. Thanks to their support, for every 100 likes this channel receives across all videos, they'll be calculated at the end of each calendar month, and then from that calculation we will be giving £2 per 100 likes to the Community Sports Foundation. It's a charity that Credo is supporting, and it's a charity that we will be supporting also this year. So the more you interact with the videos, it's free to like a video, we will be giving more money to the Community Sports Foundation. You can check that we're giving all of the money via Credo's Just Giving page. If you fancy dropping them a £5 or something, a quid, 50p, then I'll link Credo's Just Giving page in the description below. But a massive thank you to them. Let's get on to football. Preston North End, Alex Neil's Preston side. Oh, by the way, the scenery has changed a little bit. I'm living in London for a month. Essentially in a hotel room, but it's got a little kitchen, so it's like a self-catering thing. I'm here with work, which means I am missing midweek games, which is annoying because this is a big one, but I'll be coming home at weekends and stuff, so I won't be missing any of them games. But yeah, I'm in London, so these horrific curtains and dodgy purple sofa will be here for a little while. Yeah, this is a big one. This is a big game for Norwich City, yet to win in the Championship. And I can remember last season when we started with that draw against Fulham, and then we lost to Sunderland at home, and then I think, we drew away, and then we beat QPR on a Tuesday night at Carrow Road. That was either our first win or our first home win. We beat them 2-0, it was fairly convincing. Nelson scored and Harrison Reed scored that night, and it just lifted weight off everyone's shoulders. And admittedly, we all know how the season finished, but it's amazing what a win can do. And I completely agree with all the fans that have said we could have quite easily won each football match this season. We could have quite easily beat Birmingham. We should have beat West Brom if we would have taken that 3-on-1 chance that Leitner had against Sheffield United. We would have won that, and everything would have been rosy. The performances on the whole have been fairly good. Going forward, certainly we've looked better. Defensively, we've looked poor. So we need to find that balance, and we need to find it quickly, because as we all know, once a manager loses the fans, I think it's impossible to win them back over. Where do I sit? I love Stuart Webber. I think he's a fantastic man. I really like the way he works. I've been lucky enough to interview him a few times. He's eloquent, he's wonderful, and I do back him. I also really like Daniel Farke. I just do wonder whether this style of football, having watched it for, a year and a bit now, is it slightly too idealistic for this league? We've seen Huddersfield do it, yes. We've also seen a lot of teams try this kind of style and fail miserably, and it's often the teams who are a bit more rugged that do well, unless you're a Fulham who, have the ability to sign the likes of Mitrovic and have Tom Cairney in the middle, and you go up playing wonderful football. You really do have to nail it if we're going down this route, and I'm not so sure whether the likes of Leitner, these German second division players, I'm not slagging them off. I just do wonder whether this league is a little too tough for them to play this style of football. However, we are incredibly early doors. If we pummel Preston, then I'll probably be coming here on my review and saying, well, we could possibly challenge for the top 6. Preston, they beat QPR 1-0 on the opening day. However, looking at QPR, who we do face in a couple of weeks' time, they do look pretty poor. They beat them 1-0. They then travelled to South Wales. Swansea lost 1-0 there, and recently drew 2-2 with Stoke. They took the lead twice and were pegged back twice. Also in that game, Gallagher, their main man, got sent off. He is suspended for this game, which is good. I followed a Twitter account earlier, which is wonderful. I heard Stuart Hodge shout it out on the Pink and podcast. It's called @NCFC Numbers. Go and check them out. They tweeted that Gallagher has scored the most goals against Norwich City for a league football club, against any other person other than Sergio Aguero, Shane Long and Danny Graham. So he likes a goal against Norwich City, and then missing out on him playing is bound to play into our hands. What would I change going into this game then? Well, for me, I would change the formation. I would go with 3 centre-backs, them being closer, who's being linked with a move to Hanover. We'll discuss that another time. Grant Hanley and Zimmerman. I would then go with wing-backs. Right wing-back Marshall, left wing-back Lewis. You can then throw them forwards as much as you want. I would probably then drop the Leitner out, that floating midfield role that Leitner's occupied and Stiepermann has occupied at times, and I'm not overly sure what that role does as of yet. It might be more effective at home. Away from home, I'm not a massive fan. I'd certainly stick with Pukki, Hernandez and Rhodes going forward. If we're going to be taking any positives out of this season so far, it's certainly Jordan Rhodes, who I've been dead impressed with, and I'm certainly, eating humble pie over that one. Hernandez has been fantastic, and I really like the look of Timu Pukki. So this is a big game. It is going to turn toxic at Carrow Road, I can guarantee, if we don't get the result we need. I think minimum from this game is a win, because you then face Marco Bielsa's Leeds side, who've looked incredible. Yes, that bubble will burst at some point. I don't mean completely, but they will lose at some point. It could come against us, who knows? And then we travel to Portman Road. Of course, them games sandwiched by a game at Cardiff, which is kind of irrelevant and very annoying that we drew them. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this game. What would you change? What would you like to see different? I'm nervous, I must admit. I didn't think there'd be this much pressure on Daniel Farke and also the players this early on, but I think rightfully so that there's pressure. We needed to hit this season running quickly, and we haven't done that, and that's disappointing for me. I am fully still behind Daniel Farke. However, we need to improve, and we need to improve quickly. I'm not saying the performances have been bad, they haven't been, but at the end of the day, you don't get in the top 6 by playing pretty football. I think we can do well in this league playing pretty football, and yes, that will take time, but at the same time, we need to get results. There are no excuses this season. Daniel Farke has had time to assemble a squad. He has assembled that squad. If he can't get the best out of that squad, there isn't really much we can do about that, except for maybe find another manager. But it's not at that point yet. I will give the man time. Thank you very much for watching. It's Preston on Wednesday. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win. Heart over head, that one. See you later.